Want to get to some breaking news out of Texas this morning, where a Dallas police officer is recovering after a carjacking overnight. We have Fox 4 Dallas's Dan Godwin. He joins us live with what we know live on the scene there. Dan, what can you tell us? Pretty chaotic situation, but it sounds like that officer is recovering right now.
Yeah, it was, Zach, and sort of surprising circumstances. The Dallas police chief says the officer who was shot was in an unmarked vehicle conducting surveillance. He was dressed in plain clothes about 12:45 this morning. The chief says another vehicle pulled up behind where the officer was parked, and that second vehicle effectively pinned him in his location. Then at least two men exited the suspect vehicle. One of them had two firearms. They start walking towards the officer. He noticed the men approaching, so he gets out of his car.
Soon after that, an exchange of gunfire happened between the suspects and our officer. Our officer retreated for cover. As that gunfire ensued, the officer was shot at least one time.
The officer was reportedly hit once in the leg. One of the suspects then climbs into the officer's unmarked vehicle and takes off. The other suspect vehicle also drives off. Thankfully, the wounded officer was able to call 911. He ended up being transported to the hospital in a police patrol vehicle. He is said to have non-life-threatening injuries and is expected to recover. The officer's car was found abandoned not far from this location. The other car is still unaccounted for, along with the at least three people who were inside. Reporting live in Dallas, Dan Godwin. Back to Zach.
All right, and that investigation will continue, and thankfully that officer able to recover right now, but a very scary situation there. Dan Godwin, Fox 4 Dallas. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate it. It is 7:16 on the East Coast, 4:16 over on the West Coast.